una mirada hecha en Sonora, vestida con el mar de Cozumel, con el color del sol por todo el cuerpo. Así se lleva México en la piel, como el buen tequila de esta tierra, o como un amigo en Yucatán.
Mexico is located just south of the United States. It has a population of 129.2 million people and is 761,600 square miles. Mexico is composed by people of different ethnic backgrounds, and because of this, it is a country that is rich in culture. Many historic fights have taken place here which make it abundant in history, and with its size, it is also vast in landscapes and beautiful sceneries. One of Mexico's most historic struggles for land was fought against France. On October 1861, France invaded Mexico under the command of Louis Napoleon III in order to collect a debt. Mexico refused to pay because they did not have the sufficient money. In order to settle this dispute, Napoleon III decided to take Mexico's land as a form of payment. He sent out his navy to block the Puerto de Veracruz, which was Mexico's main port. Once the troops got off the ships, they made their way to Mexico City, the capital. Along the way, they would have to cross the city of Puebla. Here, they were faced by a brigade of Mexican soldiers. Despite the Mexican brigade being outnumbered and with few firearms, they fought with all the strength and passion they had for their land. Eventually, the French army retreated. This battle is now known as Cinco de Mayo and is a national holiday in Mexico. Nonetheless, the French army attacked once again, advancing more and more towards the capital. The Mexican army continued to put their lives on the line to protect their land. The war did not come to an end until Emperor Maximilian I, who was appointed by Napoleon III, was captured and killed. This was when Napoleon III realized he had lost more money in this war effort than the amount he had initially gone to collect, and decided to remove his troops from Mexico. This declared Mexico's victory. The Spanish conquest that took place in the 1500s brought war, disease, new languages, but also religion to Mexico. The Spanish introduced Catholicism to the natives of Mexico. Before, the natives had a belief system of multiple gods that were responsible for different areas of life. For example, Tlaloc was the god of rain. However, with the introduction of Catholicism, many natives converted. The conversion would be done by priests who baptized the person who wanted to be converted. Not all the natives converted all at once. Many of them were slow to join in. This changed once La Virgen de Guadalupe appeared to a native called Juan Diego. The story says that the Virgin asked Juan Diego to take a sign to the bishop in order to have a temple constructed for her. She told Juan Diego to wrap roses in a mantle and take it to the bishop. Once Juan Diego showed the bishop the Virgin's image was plastered on the mantle. The Virgin shared similar characteristics with the natives, such as skin complexion and facial structure, which caused majority of them to convert. On the other hand, in our current time, we're seeing another change in the religious landscape. There has been a rise in the evangelic faith. Part of the reason for this is because of how the religion is structured. In evangelic faith, God is seen as a friend rather than an untouchable being. This approach causes more people to feel comfortable and welcome. Additionally, you do not need a priest as a middleman to talk to God like you do in the Catholic faith. The Mexican Revolution took place in 1911. During this time, many people held the presidency of Mexico. It started off with Porfirio Diaz, then Francisco Madero, and finally to a military leader named Huerta. Huerta had the ideology of a dictator and converted Mexico's presidency to a dictatorship. During this time, President Woodrow was in office. He heard word on what Huerta was trying to do and decided to interfere because this dictatorship challenged the best of interests for the United States. Shortly after, several American citizens were captured and detained for several hours just off the shore of Tampico, Mexico. Woodrow saw this as an opportunity to take military action and mobilize a naval blockade to Mexico's main port located in Veracruz. The post was blocked for 6 months, causing a great decline in the Mexican economy. Not too much time went by when several Mexican radicals came together because of their mutual disagreement of the U.S. intervention in controlling of their country. Amongst this group, two of the most popular individuals were Francisco Pancho Villa and Emiliano Zapata. By the Mexican people, they were seen as heroes, but by the U.S., they were seen as ruthless bandits that would do anything to accomplish their goal of ridding U.S. control in Mexico. At one point, Pancho Villa and Emiliano Zapata ordered their followers to kill several Americans that were coming to work to Mexico. In addition, Pancho Villa led a raid into Columbus, New Mexico, in which several American citizens were killed. This led General J. Pershing to be head of a search squadron composed of 10,000 soldiers who crossed into Mexico in order to bring back Villa dead or alive. The search team failed to find Villa and eventually returned to the United States. While the United States did not stay too long in Mexico, as they have in other Latin American countries, it is important to note that the only reason they intervened was for their benefits, such as security or raw materials, such as they have done in other Latin American places. Mexico is a country that has faced many hardships. Its people are always ready to defend their land and their roots. Despite the odds, they're willing to sacrifice their lives in order for their loved ones to have freedom. When they fought off the French, France had the best army in the world at the time. But that did not scare the Mexican army. In fact, it impulsed them to give up everything to defend the one thing that they did have, which was their beloved land. When it comes to religion, it is very ironic how the Spanish introduced Catholicism and changed the natives' original religion. It is ironic because now Catholicism is being challenged by the growing evangelic faith. Additionally, while the U.S. has not intervened physically in Mexico anymore, it has through political power. One main way it did this was through the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. While Mexico does benefit by this agreement, the main reason why it was established was because the U.S. also benefits from it.
Deshilados o lana tejida en Teotitlán. Así se siente México, así se siente México, así como unos labios por la piel. Así te envuelve México, así te sabe México, así se lleva México en la piel. Ver la sierra de Chihuahua o la artesanía en San Miguel, remontar el cerro de la Silla, si se lleva México en la piel, como acompañarse con mariachi para hacer llorar a esa canción. En el sur se toca con marimba y en el norte con acordeón. Así se siente México, así se siente México, así como unos labios por la piel. Así te envuelve México, así te sabe México, así se lleva México en la piel. Como un buen zarape de Saltillo, como bienvenida en Veracruz, la emoción de un beso fresco